What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got a bunch of new Destiny 2 information to talk about. This was actually leaked last night. It seems that a bunch of people have review copies of the game and are actually playing it persistently right now, and some of them can't quite keep it under wraps. So we're going to take a look at Vault Space, which is pretty interesting, the Engram stash, as well as some words about smart loot. We've got pictures of character creation screens, and much more to talk about. I would say that most of it is not really that spoilery. The first bit that I'm going to show you right here is perhaps the only spoiler. We've got a single image that pertains to the story right here. I'm going to talk about it for literally a minute or less, so if you don't want to see it, skip ahead for about a minute. So the first image I want to talk about right here, we see a Titan walking around in third person, and it actually looks like they're walking around inside of the last city, which is pretty interesting. So it looks like this could be one of the missions which follows what happens, you know, the attack on the city and everything like that, and this could be kind of the beginning where we escape the city and head out to the European Dead Zone. What this tells us is that perhaps we will have some kind of time where we travel through the last city as part of the story, which is pretty exciting, something that we've never been able to see before in Destiny. Obviously we know that we head out to the European Dead Zone to reclaim our power and all of that kind of stuff, so the story is going to be very exciting. Up next we have this image. By the way, this is all in Polish, this is where it was leaked from, and this is actually our vaults right here. So we can see a bunch of white weapons and armor, and we can see that the inventory says 6 of 200, so there will be 200 slots when Destiny 2 actually launches. They may obviously upgrade that at some point, but 200 slots at launch I would say is a fairly healthy number. And we also see some other ways that Bungie are kind of alleviating storage issues for items, which actually kind of go alongside what we're seeing right here. We can see that there are two main tabs for this slot at the top right there. One of them is what is called the treasury, so basically this is, you know, all of your armor and gear that we can see on screen, and then the other one is collections. I actually spoke about this a few days ago, but there we go. The collections tab is essentially your kiosks from Destiny 1, so they have been kind of combined now. So when you go up to one of the terminals, the vault terminals in the farm social space, you'll be able to manage both what's in your vault and kind of access kiosks and everything like that. And then this is a particularly interesting tab right here. So this is the inventory screen. Along the top you can see an Engram section. So what's going to happen with this by the looks of things is that when you receive an Engram, they'll actually go into this part of your inventory instead of stacking into that particular part of your gear inventory, which is always nice. The number right there is 10 Engrams, so presumably you can only carry 10 Engrams at a time, and I'd also assume that any that you can't get into this inventory will go to the postmaster like they did in Destiny 1. And then below that right there we have the actual inventory screen, so this is where you'll hold kind of your consumable items, and then we have kind of like a cogwheel on one of the tabs, so this could be for weapon modifications, and then the bottom one kind of has like a page icon almost, which could be for shaders, it could be for any number of inventory items, but the inventory in general is much more managed, and there are an absolute ton of slots right there. As you can see, 50 slots just for the top section, so it's going to be pretty awesome. I've also spoken recently about subclass inventory, so when we saw some of the artifacts drop in the EDZ gameplay, they actually said that they've been sent to the subclass inventory. Now if we look at this screen right here, we can see the Sentinel Titan, and there are the kind of two different paths that you could choose on the top and the bottom right there, but also we see another section bang in the middle between them. I can't actually decipher the words right there, so I'm not sure what it is, but I believe that this could be the subclass inventory, an additional space that stores all of these subclass items. Of course, that could be in any number of the other tabs that we've seen, but it does look like there is going to be an additional option, inventory, something inside of the subclass right there. Moving on, we get a quick, very brief, bad screenshot right here of the character creation screen. And from what I can see, it looks like mostly you have pretty similar options and a pretty similar layout in general to the character creator that we had in Destiny 1. Of course, we learned that if we brought characters forward from Destiny 1, we wouldn't be able to actually customize them. The only way you could have a re-customized character or a new customized character would be to actually create a new character. The one thing this suggests to me is that it's fairly likely that there won't be any new kind of character customizations that we didn't see in Destiny 1, you know? I would assume that like the hairstyles, the facial additions, the paints and the kind of markings or whatever they're called would be basically what we had in Destiny 1. Otherwise there would be a bit of uproar, you know, if you could create absolutely insane looking new characters with new customization, but only if you were actually making brand new characters. So I think they're going to limit it to what we saw in Destiny 1, but of course that's not confirmed. There are a couple of additional things worth noting right here. So firstly, here is a ghost shell, and it does actually have a kind of shader right there. So I believe this is actually one of the European Dead Zone shaders that we saw drop in some of the gameplay. So you will be able to apply shaders to your ghosts, but additionally there is kind of a modification section just above that. So it looks like there will be additional kind of options that you can roll out or change, or that are just randomly on ghosts inside of Destiny 2. Of course, we've seen kind of tracking perks for particular items. I assume we're probably going to see fairly similar things, perhaps more bonuses that kind of give you glimmer or chances at gear or things like that. We have learned that you can get quite a few clan banner bonuses in Destiny 2, and if you're not in a clan, obviously that's not going to benefit you. So hopefully Bungie have kind of looked at different pieces of gear that can provide similar bonuses at least. The person who leaked this did actually provide a picture of the game, a physical copy, so presumably this is the one they're playing right now, or were playing when they actually got this information and leaked it. There is an additional screenshot here of the player actually on Titan, which is really, really interesting. Obviously, we know kind of what Titan looks like. We can see the kind of methane ocean right there in the image. So there we go. That's a breakdown of the kind of leaked information that we know so far. Obviously, this stuff was absolutely all over Reddit, but I also have to give a huge shout out to My Life Crisis for kind of bringing this to my attention and linking it to me on Twitter. It's very much appreciated. Also, my buddy Rapid Infusion on Twitter sent me an interesting image from some of the non-leaked European Dead Zone gameplay. And something interesting to point out is that on this emblem we can see the character's kind of power level, which is 170, and then we can see an additional level below, which is 119, and I believe that looks like a kind of subclass icon right there, but it's not entirely clear what this number actually means. It's possible that if it does refer to subclasses, that there could be a kind of subclass power level, and there will be kind of a bunch of ways that you can increase the power of your subclass. Of course, this links with the subclass inventory that we already know about, but it could be a number that represents something else, you know, some kind of collectible, some kind of Grimoire style score. We know that Grimoire is not actually in the game, but there could be kind of an alternative score that can be linked to your character in some way. I'll be curious to hear what you guys think this particular number refers to. For now though, that's gonna just about sum up this video, guys, so I hope you have enjoyed it as always, and I'll be curious to hear any of your thoughts in the comments section below. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated. Also, if you want to save 10% on Control Freak products, including the new Destiny 2 edition thumbsticks, then you can follow the link in the description and use code Houndish to save yourself a few bucks on anything inside of the Control Freak store. Finally, just yesterday we had the Gall trailer, the final of the kind of character trailers that we've had over the last few days, so I'm going to let that run out in case any of you guys missed it. But again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon.
Do not look at me, creature. I was born an outcast, left for dead. Rejection, ridicule, torment.